And welcome back to Movie Nerds. It's been a long time since the last time we got together, but we had to get together today because I swear, once in a lifetime, once in every decade, there is a movie that comes out that just the birds are singing, everything's in harmony. It's a perfect movie and it's probably the best sci-fi movie of all time. It's up there with Empire Strikes Back. What movie that is? Dune 2. Come join us. Today I'm excited. I had my co-host as usual, Owen, Dave Owen. How you doing?
Good.
I still call you Owen. I don't know why.
It's all good.
I
I mean,
never call you David.
that's how you knew me.
Yes. So
Mm.
so I text Dave during the week. I was like, "Are you gonna go see Dune?" He goes, "He you said you don't know," and I
I
was
was like,
like,
I'm not planning on it.
"Go see Dune," because we're gonna talk about it. In fact, we will be joined by his better half, because she saw the movie too.
Yeah, she went with me last night.
Oh, nice, nice. I had my wife with me by my side, but she she's not a big Dune fan. She liked the first one, but but she's not as like a huge fan like I am because I read the book, and there's a
Ah,
couple of things in there that I thought what he did was actually pretty interesting to the way. Hello,
Hi.
welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Um, first of all, dude, part two.
you said it's up there with Empire.
I have. Let's just go right now. Let's just go into it. Okay. What's your thought on Dune? What did you love it? Did you like it? Were you disappointed? Disappointed? Were you? Did you fall asleep like some people?
Some
Did
people
you?
fell asleep.
My sister in law did. I think
Oh
I looked
man,
over and I
look,
think she fell
I
asleep.
would have fallen asleep.
I
I
fell
would,
asleep because I have sleep apnea, not because the movie was boring. Okay, let's get
I
that
would have,
straight.
I would have been more likely to fall asleep in part one than this one. I'll say
Really?
that.
Okay.
I thought this was, I don't know, the way that Denis Villeneuve his storytelling for this source material was great. Like I
Oh.
don't know. I think there's really only one thing that I expected that wasn't included, but I mean it's a 3 hour movie and the audio book is like 21 hours. So he's not going to be able to include everything.
No.
So that was one thing that I guess I expected that one thing, but that didn't happen with Jamis's family.
Oh yeah, that did not happen,
It didn't happen in the movie,
and
which
and
was
rightfully
fine. And
so because
yeah,
it wouldn't make no sense if they put it. It would have been more. It would have been like really like chaotic and more like he's already had enough on his shoulder to be able to lead these people or to become that person that the myth. Dude, this movie goes into propaganda,
oh yeah,
religion, politics, like perfectly of what people. I love the fact that they had the younger generation, and the older generation believe in this Messiah coming, and then the younger generation is like, it's the fear monger. They're just using this to scare. That's just
uh,
real life,
yeah.
now.
I thought it was funny how it was the deep South that were the
Yeah.
highly religious fundamentalists.
Always and the North is never, be
Yeah,
the one to believe. It's just exactly
he's
the same in real
he's
life
from the
here.
South. Didn't you hear his accent?
Yeah. He goes, I love the fact that anyway, before I go, you guys keep going. You guys tell the audience.
Okay,
I'll let you eat my
so yeah,
brownies.
I really love his storytelling. I would say yeah, this is better than part one.
Mm.
Because there was part one kind of it was long, it was slow, it was good storytelling, and there was a lot of like symbolism. But this kind of it really brought out Paul's struggle with who he wants to be and who he has to become.
Well,
So
he doesn't want to become that because he just wants to fight.
yeah,
But
but he
now, but
has to.
his mom, who plays by Rebecca Ferguson,
Rebecca Ferguson.
she should be running for president at this moment.
Yeah. She's the puppet
She's
master.
good, puppet master. So
It's terrifying.
She's yeah.
talking to herself, I was like, so crazy.
What about you? What are some of your thoughts?
I really enjoyed it. I think if you were not familiar with the book, the movie would have been really confusing because how it like jumps around to the different characters and what's going on in the storyline. Because there were times where like it would jump from like what was happening with um like
The Harkonnens.
yeah, the Harkonnens, and then it would go back to like the
Caracas.
yeah.
Did
back
you
and
guys read
forth.
the book?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys knew the twist or the secret that came out.
Yep.
Everybody everybody in the theater was like, what? I'm like, oh
They're not true Dune fans then.
no, they didn't read the book.
That inspiration for Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker relationship there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I really liked it though. I thought it was really well done. I'm excited to see it again, just so that like the pieces that weren't connecting can connect. Because
I want to see. Sorry, go ahead.
the book is so long that I feel like when we listened to it, there was a lot of like pausing and discussing, okay, what's happening now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the movie was very close to like the book. I think I liked the like commentary from what's her name?
Oh,
The
the
princess.
Emperor's daughter, the
Yeah.
princess.
The
Yeah.
Yeah.
princess.
Because that's how it is in the book.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm glad that they added that in there. I'm like, I wonder if
Mhm.
they're gonna do that. I was just thinking this like, is she, because she was the narrator in the book, and I'm like, okay, they did that.
Yeah, I like the way they did it too.
Mm-hmm.
I think this movie was perfect.
Perfect.
I think the way look, he comes out and he talks about dialogues. There's certain movies you don't need dialogues to show how great a film or a certain aspect of the film is. Let me give you an example. When Paul was gonna do the last test to become a what's the word, Furman, was
Oh, their word for fighter.
yeah, well, but to ride the worms he was
Oh, to
supposed
be a Fremen.
the Furman, that's the word. You're gonna
Yeah.
be, yeah. And there was no dialogue. It's all sounds, it's all action, it's all, and it tells the whole story on what was going on in that scene. And that's what I love about the Denis Villeneuve. I think Arrival, to me, look, I love Dune 2, and I think Arrival it was my favorite movie of his, and then Sicario.
Yeah,
Dune 2
I
might
still
be,
haven't seen Sicario.
oh my gosh, Sicario is so awesome. But there's a scene in there without a lot of dialogue, and the tension and everything that goes into that scene, you understand what was going on, and he does that well, especially in Arrival. Have you ever seen Arrival? Go
Yeah. Oh
check it
yeah.
out. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Um, let's talk about some of the stuff. We'll go. I love this movie. I find nothing wrong with this movie. I find the fact that the stuff that he took that he didn't put in, that some of the stuff that are in the book that he didn't put in, I thought it was fine because it doesn't go
Yeah.
with what the movie is.
Yep.
For instance, Paul and Shani, they had a son.
Yeah.
It didn't mention that in there. Leto or something. I think that's the name
Yeah,
of
they
the
named it
kid.
after his dad.
After his
After
dad,
the
Leto,
Yep.
and later died during one of the during the battle, I believe. And so, but what was the point of him putting that in there in the movie? It made no sense. So I'm glad they didn't do that. Now the sister part, it took him a while. The sister part was kind of weird for me, but I'll take it. I think it's pretty.
Was that what's her name? Anna Taylor Johnson.
Yes, that is
Okay.
her. Now she will play an important role
Dune
in
Messiah.
Dune Messiah, but in the book, she was in the book.
Yeah.
She was in the third act of the book, and she plays a very important part too. But I'm glad that they didn't put that in there because this movie was about Paul and
Yeah.
about him becoming that Messiah that everybody's looking for. Although, hey, this is the Messiah that the Jews been waiting for thousands of years. This kind of Messiah with the army, with the
Yep,
military
this is what they
aspect of it.
expected.
This is the Messiah that the Jews want. But
Yep.
too bad you're not getting it. But anyways, And there's the other ones the in the book, for instance, the battle, the last
Yeah,
the
the final battle.
he got poisoned, and he remember the blade had a poison, and he got stabbed, but he used his power to numb the poison or somehow, and he was able to defeat what's his name? I don't know his name,
Fade Raltha,
and played brilliantly
played
by
by Austin
Austin Llewellyn.
Butler. Dude,
Uh,
his voice, like how he mimicked the Baron's voice.
yeah,
Like I know that's the character, but like, and they're supposed to be like it's his nephew,
yeah,
but the way he portrayed that, just with his voice, it made me believe that they were related.
related, yeah, and the fact that they're all related to cousins, and
Oh yeah,
that scene when he goes, grandfather.
yeah,
So,
that's pretty great.
my the fact, remember the security guy in the first one, the old guy that was going to resign because there was an assassin in the building, and he said, "I'm going to resign." He played an
Yeah,
important role too, and but they cut his character completely off because he was supposed to be like an infiltrate those people, the bear, what do they call those, the bad guy, the bald head white, what do they call those?
the Harkonnen.
Harkonnens. He infiltrated their camp and gives all this information. They didn't put that in there. I was
Yeah.
okay with that. There were so
Oh
many
yeah,
other
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even
yeah,
miss that
and so
character.
and then the birth of his sister, to me, it does takes a long time, and I'm glad that they did it the way they did, because I don't think if they would have had her in the third act came out, it just wouldn't the flow wouldn't be there, because the relationship wasn't connected until Dune Messiah. I think that's when they're gonna be like, okay, here comes, and I love, no matter what, my favorite scene in this movie is when he drank the water, the
Oh,
light
the
was
Water of Life.
life,
Yep.
and then he comes back alive, and I remember I wanted to turn to Whitney and be like, It's gonna be a different Paul. Not this Paul is gonna be very manipulative, very he's gonna use
Very
people
political.
political, and he's gonna use, although he has power, and that power is real, to be able to see the future and the past that comes together.
Yeah.
And when he dropped the ball, it's like, Burns, you're the daughter of, this, and I'm like, oh, everyone's like, guys, you know what this means? Like, no one realized what's going on. I'm like, this is huge
Yeah.
that they're all related somehow. It's like, and then
Isn't that royalty for you though, right?
I
Like
know, man.
that's how it was done in like the olden
Well,
days.
this
You had
was
to keep
done
the noble
because of
blood.
the ladies,
The Benny Gesserit.
they are so embedded in these stories
Yeah.
that they are
So
in
in part
control.
one, they talked about it, but it didn't have as big a presence as it does
No,
in this part. In
this
part
one,
two, they hit on it hard and they really helped the audience understand
who
that
these ladies are.
these are the people that are really driving all of
Yeah,
this.
and there's a
They're
series
in
coming.
control.
There's a series coming on HBO Max of these ladies. The
Oh
hits.
yeah, what's it supposed to be called?
I I'm not sure what it's called exactly, to be honest.
Yeah.
But my favorite scene, and man, Timothy Chalamet, is becoming one of the most powerhouse actors. He is
Yeah.
so good. When he goes into that cave with all those people with the different,
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
southerner, the north, and the west, and come together, and he just went bonkers. I'm
He's
just
like,
like,
I'm pointing the way
yeah,
now.
I'm like, now
He's
I'm,
leaning into that Muad'Dib or
oh my,
the what do they call it? Kwisatz
listen
Haderach.
to that, yeah. And there's been many awesome scenes in the world, in the movie industry, that I've loved. When I first saw The Greatest Showman, when I saw Rebecca Ferguson sing that song,
Oh yeah.
I I was like, wow.
But she
Uh,
didn't actually sing it.
I know she didn't. I know, but it was just the scene was like, oh, what the? Where did this come from? There's many other scenes, but this was awesome. The way he delivered that message, the way he, like you said, leaned into that political leader. Now he's like, when he said, "I see what I have to do." I don't
Mhm.
think he still believed what he is to a certain extent. I think he knows that the propaganda of like what he has to do because of what his mother started spreading all these stories and basically campaigning for him to be the next president of the United States,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
worked. But he does truly have that power to both to see the future. And when he said he basically looked at that guy and said tells him how his grandma died and all this and how she
Yeah.
died.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was like, oh man, one of my favorite scenes. Do
Yeah.
you
That
have any favorite
was.
scene?
Yeah, I'm a sucker for some good choreography. So like that last fight, that last
Oh,
knife fight between Fade Raltha and um Paul. Yeah, that was
I
the choreography. It was fast. It wasn't flash. I mean, no, it wasn't flashy. It seemed very
except
direct
when
and
except
intentional.
when he did that one spin.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, wait, what did
Yeah,
that?
that was a little. That was a little.
But
Yeah,
I'm
it
okay
didn't
with
take
it.
me out of it though.
No, because he did it in the first one too. If you go back to watch the first one,
With when he
he
fought Jamis,
no
or when he
when
was fighting
when he was practicing with Gurney.
Gurney Hawk. Yeah.
And but Gurney came in and he said, "I can hear your footstep, old man."
Oh yeah.
Before that, he did that spin move and practice. So I'm okay with it because he did it in the first. He did. It wasn't something like, oh, it just came out of nowhere, like really
Yeah,
flashy.
it's
He
something that was
practiced
part of
before.
his sparring, his
Yeah.
training. Yeah.
My only thing is like in the book, it says that he didn't. He was kind of toiling with what's his name.
With
Eh,
Fade
yeah,
Ralph.
he didn't have a trouble beating him in the book. In this one, there's a
Yeah.
little struggle. So I'm
Yeah.
like, and I like that because it kind of gives a glimpse of like, oh, he is human to a certain extent. But that's why I wonder why then he didn't
So
put that poison part in the
oh
part
yeah.
where he goes because if they really want to lean into this guy being the Messiah, that poison sword would have actually been. But who would have know? Like we wouldn't know except for those two the fighting. Like
Right.
the audience wouldn't know. So
Yeah.
I kind of get it. So
Yeah, I think a lot of it's for the benefit of the audience to because I think that would add a layer of complexity to the character that kind of didn't need to be there, but at the same time, um making him more relatable, like showing that he has weakness, makes the character more relatable, and has just that one more hurdle to overcome on his rise to power, rather than just, oh, he already knows what he's doing. He's just such a good knife fighter that he's just going to toy
yeah,
with
that's true.
with this Harkonnen, right? So we've had enough Mary Sues in the recent movie history that we don't need a Martin Sue. I don't even know what a male Mary Sue would be, but
I know, right?
I
I
think yeah, this is for the benefit of the audience, so we could relate to a character that would otherwise be like omniscient. I don't know how else to describe it.
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I get,
Yeah.
and can I just say Zendaya? She's
Oh
so
yeah.
good, man. And the fact that the ending breaks my heart. And I knew it was coming, and I knew everybody didn't realize how much he used her. He used her to get to where to that point at that time. Once he realized that he has to marry this, and it's sad. He told her like I can't go to the South, and
Yeah.
she doesn't get it, and she'll never get it because she didn't understand what he was talking about. And once he drinking that water, the water of whatever that thing is,
So that was a question I had. Was that in the book? Like that? I mean, I know it was in the book. Like she was upset, but was it? Did it get that much emphasis? Did Frank Herbert give her that much emphasis? Because I feel like that character
yeah,
got a
because
lot
they
of
had a kid
emphasis.
together.
Yeah, okay.
They had a kid together, dude. So yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
that was a very you don't. The thing is, in the book, you don't see the emotional because you don't
That's true.
you're reading and you're trying to figure out, oh, is she this? But the fact that they had a kid together, I mean, at that point, I'm pretty sure she was the way Zendaya acted out. I think
Yeah.
the way she portrayed that part, she was betrayed,
Oh yeah.
and and she played it, and her acting was perfectly like. But I do believe Paul says that I love you until the last, until I stop breathing. I think he really meant that, and the fact that he said it before he goes up to up to the emperor and says,
Yep.
"I will marry your daughter." It just says, tell things like, "Look, I gotta do what I gotta do, and this is how I have to be, and I'm sorry." And I think it's perfectly fine in that sense because they didn't bring in the fact that they had a kid together, and so now we
Yeah.
know that it's more like the love factor instead of like, oh man, they how can he do that to
Rather
a,
than giving him obligation to
yeah.
be a father, it's yeah.
So I think it was perfectly well done. Was there any, okay? Anything else that you like about this movie? Any other scene?
I what can you say about the visuals, man? Like
Oh,
how immersive can you get with the visuals? And I don't like here's the thing, like part 1, there was one CGI scene that kind of took me out, and it was a like one of his visions of a fight, of a battle.
oh yeah.
And that like the CG on that kind of pulled me out of it a little bit. But this one,
Oh,
I don't know, like everything seemed very seamless.
I felt like Arrakis was a real place that
Yeah.
we can that we can go and visit. How real it was. I love it. Anything that you didn't like about this movie?
Anything I didn't like about this movie? Let me think on that for a minute. What do you got?
I
You
got
already said it was
nothing.
perfect. You have nothing.
Perfect. I have nothing.
I'm trying to be nitpicky here.
I mean, besides the fact that there are certain things that they didn't put in the book, but I'm okay with it because it goes well with what the movie is, and so perfectly fine with that.
Plus that would have padded the runtime way too far.
Yeah.
We lost interest in the audience, I think, if they'd included some of the other stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Like the yeah, I don't have I'm trying to be nitpicky. I can't think of anything. Sheena, anything you nitpick other than not including stuff in the book? No. She thought it was great. She said she thinks it was a perfect movie too. She, she's not she's excited to see it again. We're gonna see it the 16th with my family. So we're gonna see it
See it in
again.
IMAX.
I think so.
You need to
Yes,
see
we're
it in
definitely
IMAX.
we're going to Centerville. So we're
Yeah.
gonna see it in IMAX. I'm gonna make sure of it. We're seeing it in IMAX.
I'm gonna go see it again by myself when he doesn't want to do it again. But dude, I'm gushed over this movie. The music, the visual,
Oh yeah.
everything. The acting is on point. Everybody, all the character was fleshed out perfectly. Told the story of who they were, and there was no shortcut. Um, Everything was just perfect. I love the fact um that we'll get one more, and
We're
that
getting
the
Dune Messiah.
Dune
Is that
Messiah.
is
That's
that in
the
the
last.
plan?
That will make up the trilogy
Okay.
for
You
this Dune.
did that
No,
book is way longer.
oh yeah.
So-
Now, I have been in debate with Jared and Aubrey. They have not seen
have
the
you?
movie yet. Uh, I say so far that I think part one is spectacular, and
Yeah.
I think part two elevates part one, as well as part one elevates this part two even more because they're not really sequels. They're the one movie
It's
they just
yeah.
broke it in half,
Yeah.
and because you pick up right right where they left off, and so I'm here to say at this moment that I like Dune Part One, Part Two better than Lord of the Rings, Fellowship,
Oh,
and Two Towers. You know how much I love. Oh, how much I love. Oh, there's my
hey buddy.
boy. I love Two Towers. It's one of my favorite um Lord of the Rings. I hate. I don't hate. I don't. I like Return of the King. I don't like it that much. And you know, second is Fellowship, but Dune 1 and 2 are better than the first two Lord of the Rings. There, I said it. Come at me.
Jaren
Comment
Albert.
out. My wife is shaking her head right now. I will debate anybody on that. Everything about this movie was as good, if not even better, than Lord of the Rings. Now, I get it. That is This is sci-fi. That is
That's
fantasy.
Yep.
It's two different worlds, and I will agree. But if we're going to debate on visual acting, all pacing, stories, and all this and this, and how close to the book and all this stuff, then I will say Dune wins in that aspect because the character of Paul, the way they portray Paul, is exactly what I thought would be in the book. Frodo is not. They changed Frodo, guys.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. So I'm not gonna. So if you want to debate, come at me. I will debate. But I have come to a conclusion. I'm not gonna say it's the best trilogy because I don't know how Dune Messiah is gonna hold out. If Dune Messiah is better than Return of the King, I'm here to say that Dune is the best trilogy of all time.
How long until Dune Messiah comes out?
Oh, I hope not too long. What year was this? Was part one?
2021.
So probably about
Was
another
it
3
21 or
years.
22?
Maybe 21.
21.
Yeah. So now we'll wait another 3 years to come, and then we'll go from there. But I'm here to declare that Dune 1 and part 1 and part 2 are better than the first two Lord of the Rings. Not because of the fantasy versus sci-fi part. I know these are two
There's still
different
some
worlds.
fantasy in this.
There's got a little bit of fantasy, but not like that. I love Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings. But if we're gonna debate, I think Dune takes that. And so, anyways,
Yeah.
anything else you want to talk? Anyone else want to say, Dune?
I was just looking at box office results so far. It's so opening night Friday did 32 million, 28 million on Saturday, 20 million today.
It's gonna do about 60 to 8, between 60 and 80 million. It's
Yes, I mean so far we're looking at like 80. Looks like
because it's hard because it's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
So there's nothing you can do, but you can get up all the theaters to them and they still won't make it to 100. But
81.5.
81.5, yeah. I knew you said
not 100 in its opening weekend, but
I'll tell you this though. If this movie would have came out this last year, Oppenheimer would not win Best Picture.
Hold a candle to it.
This would win Best Picture. Oh man. Anyways,
you think it's gonna get for 24? It'll get Best Picture.
I'm already calling it.
Okay.
Best Picture of the year, right here.
Because Denis Villeneuve didn't get nominated for Best Director that
which
year,
was
for part one.
Atrociously freaking snubbed, dude. He should have been nominated at least. And so now I don't know. I don't know. The Academy will do the same thing for this year, but
I don't know. Never mind. I won't speak to the politics. Never mind.
Let's end this. Folks, perfect movie. 10 out of 10 for me. Dune Part 2, 10 out of 10. It's awesome. And the one before we go, one of my other favorite scene is when he was talking to the Emperor and the lady was on and goes, silence.
Oh yeah, and he
that was so good. So good.
Shut up, woman.
Yeah, she blew that. Anyways, let us know what you think of Dune Part 2. Do you love it as much as I do? Do you think it's a perfect movie? Was something you love, something that you didn't like? Let us know. Comment down below. We will be back soon to do a prediction with the Oscar. I might just edit that part out that we were talking about because then I want to say it for that. But anyways, let us know what you think. But until then, be kind.